Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's little project is going to be some more Leylandii. I've got quite a fair bit of it. I actually chopped the tree down from out of the garden. And there's a few people ask why I use such nasty horrible wood on my lathe. There's a reason for that. Is A, I've got plenty of it, and B, as you might have seen before in some of the things I've done, the inside of it is actually quite presentable as a timber. Not very stable, but it has some interesting patterns to it and grain to it. It's not as boring as a lot of pines can be. Also, it's a great thing to help improve your tool use and also your tool sharpening, because the softer the wood, the sharper your tools need to be. That's not only for turning purposes, that's from a joinery point of view and all sorts. So you have to be on the ball with your sharpening, make sure everything's sharp, and that's the only way you will turn this stuff successfully. Anyway, enough of that rattling on. I'll show you roughly what I've got. The intention is to try and make a vase. Actually, I haven't done a vase for a long time. It's going to be a short stubby vase, but yeah, anyway, I'll show you the bit of wood. Right, here we have it. It's roughly 10 inches long, about 8 inches wide at the most point, and it's actually 2 bits of tree into one here. So it's a crutch piece really, with another branch coming off just there, a little one there. So I'm going to attack it with the bowl gouge, because I've got all sorts of grain going here, there and everywhere. I shall get it as round as I can. I'll try and do sort of a sweepy, yeah. Well, it'll be what it'll be, won't it? It's not a case of what I want, it's a case of what the wood will let me do to it. So that's it for a minute. I'll show you that end there, look. So we've got 1, 2 and 3 bits of tree. Ooh. Oh. Marvellous. Right, strangely enough it's reasonably well balanced. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start on this little bit here, try and get rid of that. It spins up to about 600, which is pretty good. So we'll start now and see what happens. Right, I'll get back to you when I'm a bit closer to whatever it is I'm doing. As you can see, I've started putting a little bit of shape into it. Still not quite sure what shape it's going to be. I've got up to the top. I'm going to take a little bit more off. I want to try and keep a good chunk of the bark in situ. We shall see. And I might go for something in the middle there. I don't know really. But basically, I've got it. I've put a tenon on the end. I've turned it around, put it in a chuck, and I'm just having a play really. I'm going to take a bit more off here. That's the sort of shape I'm aiming for, because it's quite wide at the top. It will obviously need to be quite wide at the base. and I don't know if you can pick it up properly actually, but I mean some of this grain is actually quite delightful. And as I say, this type of tree is more or less grown to keep open fires on the go. Actually, Leylandii is grown to keep nosy neighbours out. But other than that, its only use is for fuel. Anyway, take a bit more off, see what goes on. I'm quite happy with that actually. That will have to be done by sanding, I think, because there's such a lot of air. If I accidentally push the scraper in too far, I'm just going to end up. So, 6-degree scraper on that, I reckon. Now comes the challenging bit of hollowing out. Get back to you in a bit. Right, we'll do a little bit of sanding, see what happens. Actually, that's not too bad. Coming on nicely. I'm sure you don't want to wash all that, so I'll get back to you when I'm ready to put some sealer on it. Right, well, the lump of wood is all rubbed down to 400. I'm going to give it a coat now of, I'm not worried too much about that edge because I haven't done any of that yet, so that'll be alright. A couple of coats of sanding sealer, and that will bring out the grain a bit, hopefully. Anyway, you might not be able to pick it up on the camera, but it's actually quite a nice lump of firewood. Right, well, it's had 2 coats of cellulose sanding sealer on it. I'm now going to put some good old favourite Wood Wax 22 on it, buff it up, and see what happens. I think it'll be quite nice. Looking at these grain patterns, very nice indeed. I shouldn't really say that. That's down for you lot to decide, isn't it? Really, I suppose. Yeah, I think it looks nice anyway. Right, now flash off a bit. Ah. Well, that is pretty lovely. Yep, I can live with that. Alright, let's see about hollowing out. I'll get back to you when I'm set up for that. Okay, well, I'm just going to drill in there with this 1-inch bit, and I shall gradually widen it out with a couple of forstner bits. I don't know about you, but I think this is boring, so I'll get back to you when I'm a bit closer. Okay, here's where we're at the moment. Just doing some hollowing out. I need to move the old pretty much just carry on like that for a bit. A little bit thinner here. Right, I'm going to drill out some more, get it a bit deeper. Okay, that's drilled down now to within about 1 inch or so of the bottom, which is plenty. A bit warm. So what I'm going to do now is just take this in to where it meets the bottom, so it'll be tapered from this point to this point, that point being down there. starting to sound a bit thin there, so I'm going to go to sanding now. Digs there, oh look at that. Yeah, we'll get this out of the way and go to sanding. Yeah, looks like a bit finishing off one hand, isn't it? Right, well there we have it. All finished, or as finished as I'm going to do it anyway. The only thing I've got left to do now is to turn it around, take the tenon off. I had a couple of nasty catches there and it was getting, I'm at about 2 mil there, so I didn't really want to take any more off. But there we have it, a natural edge, because I mean that's how it how the log came off. Vase, I suppose. Right, I'll flip it round, get it on a block, and we'll get rid of that tenon. Okay, here we go. Now just start gently taking the tenon off, getting rid of that. And I shall dig out a little bit on the inside for to make a base. I'm just putting a couple of coats of sanding sealer on the base there. I'm not going to polish it because it's best if it doesn't slide around on whatever surface it's going on. So, a couple of coats of sanding sealer. What I've got to do now, I'll take that down a little bit more, so, and then I'll just chop it off, sand it up, and that'll be it. just go and knock that off. Do a quick sand. Right, well there we go folks, that is a Leylandii natural edged vase. Literally a chunk of firewood, but as you may or may not be able to see, the grain patterns are actually quite delightful. I don't know how, but they are actually all natural edges. It was obviously the way it was chopped down, etc. Which unfortunately had a bit of a catch on the inside, which I couldn't go any thinner on the wall, otherwise it would have just cut the whole thing off. So I'm sure the wife will be happy with it anyway. Anyway, there you go. Thanks very much for watching folks. Once again, a fantastic big thank you to all of my subscribers, both the old ones and the new ones. The channel seems to be picking up a little bit, and it's all obviously all down to you guys, so thank you very much for that. Look forward to doing you some more videos. Bye for now.